I used to be bullied a lot in school, and looking over my shoulder, levels of bullying. Like, it was bad. I remember one day I was walking into the cafeteria. Keep in mind, we're all just in line, my class, and I just get, a tap on my shoulder. And it's, oddly enough, it's like sort of like entering the lunchroom. So I'm walking through the doors, those two big doors, and I just get a tap. I look over and bow, slap. Keep in mind, I look over, I don't look up. I literally have to look down. This is how crazy it was. I had to look down to the girl that slapped me. It was a girl. Not only was it her, it was someone else too, but she slapped me, and then she just, raced off. And I couldn't even react. I was just pissed. So I started chasing her. I'm running around the table, and boom, I'm tripped. Here comes the second person. They're doubling up. It's almost like, you ever seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World? You know how Scott is like fighting all of Ramona's evil exes? Imagine that movie, except there's no Ramona, there's no girlfriend you're taking from some evil guy or villain, but for some reason, there's just evil exes. It's like the world's just after you. There's just all these evil exes or people that are just messing with you, and you're just trying to, like Scott was, just chill and have a calm day. That's exactly how my day-to-day life was in school back then. And he trips me, face plant, and all this, and I want to fight him now, of course, because I'm pissed even more. And I'm just thinking to myself, in a fit of rage, while everyone's holding me back because it's unfair that I can't get my head now, but he did all this shit, because I definitely wouldn't let it just happen. I was always someone that fought my bullies. But he did that. I couldn't understand why. That was the most annoying part to me, is why. Maybe I looked timid, maybe I looked shy, maybe I was just the proper image and the proper thing for him to get his rage out on, where he thought that this was okay because I won't do anything. And that was my frame. Fast forward now, right? We'll say about 8 years later, I get a message on Facebook. It's commenting on a story I am posted. And it's this guy. It's this same bully. And he's bigging me up. He's like, yo, looking nice, bro, this and that, yada, yada. Like, telling me, like, sort of like super open about his life. We're chatting for a second, and we just turn into a nice conversation. But I thought to myself, because I know it was him, I remembered, why is he so friendly? Like, he doesn't remember what he did to me? Like, am I the only one that remembers what my child, I guess I'm the only one that remember what my childhood was like. But how? And it dawned on me. And this is something that First Man, you should watch his channel, said before. He talked about two concepts. He said frame and life setup. And I'll explain both of them really, really quickly too. Frame is how you appear to people, right? That could be in a number of ways, whether it comes to how you look, you're muscular. If you're muscular, maybe you're well-spoken, maybe you have a nice car, etc. That's your frame. That's how they see you, that's how you appear. And they get thoughts of them because of that. We judge people on first impressions, so frame is very important. And then there's life setup, which is the position you put yourself in to have what you want, or to have certain things in life, period, right? Say you wanted to be in the gym, we'll say at like 12 on a Monday, well slept, etc. Your life is probably set up to where that's possible, where it's actually possible for you to do that. Like, the money's good, you're not working this type of job where you literally have to rush in this, and you're in this type of 9-to-5 cycle where you're never getting enough sleep, where you can't fully see your kids, where you can't fully be with your woman, etc. Right? That's life set up. And it dawned on me when our conversation was over, it's my frame. I'm bigger now. The way I present myself online is different now. Like, I generally have a cool personality for most guys. I'm talented, I play piano, etc. So it's my frame, and I must seem very respectable. So he's not bullying me now. For whatever reason, before he saw it fit to do it, but now, in seeing who I am in some sense, he doesn't. That just changes that situation. This can change many situations. So many men are struggling with loneliness and being incel and etc. in this generation. But when you think about it, this is the easiest it's ever been to be attractive. The easiest it's ever been to be attractive. It's like a game almost. You can take any quality from any celebrity, any person you see online, and snatch it. Copy it, make it your own. That's frame. You can literally copy someone and frame yourself to be this. If you don't like come on, you should like who you are. But you should not have to sit here and like how you appear, because it's just not true. These people that you like, they were not like this originally. They framed themselves that way. If you look at Drake wasn't like this originally. The rapper Drake, it's been meticulously thought out, this entire thing. You can look back on his career to the first images where he was wearing this type of coat or this type of watch or saying these type of verses. It's all been thought out. And they have a team thinking it out for them, and they're framing themselves to be this way. And you frame it long enough and you become that. And you can do the same thing. You don't have to be lonely. You don't have to be passed up, disrespected by bullies, etc. You can frame yourself and be whoever you decide to be. Be whatever hyper masculine character you want to be in this world. You have fighters like Conor McGregor, who went around talking trash, etc., etc., etc. And he changed literally the way money is made in fighting. Keep in mind, this is not who he was if you talk to people behind the camera, like how he actually is, when the cameras are off. But that's who he was on camera, because that's what he wanted to frame himself as. And that's the world took him as, and it took over. Another thing dawned on me too, which was another example, is women are awed over. And I mean awed over. And it doesn't even have to be the most attractive woman. Women are just awed over, period. Why? They're brilliant at framing themselves. Just look at her Instagram, bro. Look at her Instagram. You go to a girl with a good Instagram, right? A properly made Instagram for what a female would be in this day and age. And it's her looking nice in various locations, various, sort of date-looking locations, because they're probably on a date, but they're not going to take a picture of the guy, because they're not really serious. They're going to just advertising themselves, still literally online, while they're on a date with him. And what does it make you think? One, she's beautiful, right? That's all you see is, and it could be a filter, but all you see is just a collage of her in a sense, and it just makes you just get cued in on her looks. The second thing is the setting, right? It's always important for them, the setting. What does that make you want to do? Makes you want to take them there. Makes you want to be there. Advertisement, successful. This can be the same for you. We have the internet. You can be literally anyone you want to be. Some guys are being carried by this. This is the new meta. Some guys are being carried by this. They don't even have a mouthpiece. They can't even talk. They can't even truly do anything. But if you look at their social media, here goes their nice car. Here goes them, wearing their best outfit. And literally, they hopefully you don't want them to take you on a date more than twice a year, because that's their only good outfit. They got everything properly framed to where he's a good choice. And this is how you have to do it too. You have to frame things to where it's a good choice. Use the internet, use whatever you can use, take whatever, copy, frame yourself from anyone you see. And that's how different you can appear. And trust me, believe it or not, this affects everything, like not just women, but jobs, getting jobs, making more money, etc. It affects everything, because first impressions are everything, period. Right? Because if life's a movie, think about it this way. If life's a play, how are you gonna step on the stage? If life's a movie, right? First impressions are everything. What's the first impression of a movie? A trailer, right? And the internet will be your trailer. Or let's say that how you come across as your trailer. What does your trailer say about you? If I were to look at you right now, what does your trailer say? Let's think about it. Me, in general, right? When that guy looked at me online and he saw me, what did he see? He saw, someone, he works out like a lot. Apparently he reads a lot too. He plays piano. Except at this point I didn't have that much online. He just saw what he saw, and that was enough apparently to respect me finally. And that changed his whole perspective. I remember once, actually, another brief story. I had a girlfriend, and keep in mind, we already had our thing, and we sort of, had a little breakup, little divide for a moment. And I started getting into self-improvement. And I kid you not, there's only two things that I changed in with getting into self-improvement before, we got together again. That changed the way she treated me entirely. When I mean, like, before it was like very, this push and pull. Before it was very, I'm pushing, I'm pulling, and sort of in this alone. It seemed like I'm the guy that's crazy attracted to her and she's just with me, I started improving the way I speak, right? So for one, a lot of people end their sentences off in very high pitches. I started ending mine off in low pitches. And it changed the way she perceives my voice. It changed the way I came across. I was already big, but some of these people, man, you need everything in the book to appeal to them, right? So I changed the way I speak, and I started changing the way I acted towards her. So for one thing, I was okay entirely with things ending off whenever. I was never the one chasing, etc. And one thing I noticed is that the dynamic flipped entirely. This is someone that knew me already, mind you. However, despite her knowing me already, the way she treated me was different now. Keep in mind, she's only been going for maybe a month. Came back, her biggest questions are just like, why do you sound like, I remember she asked me literally, why do you sound like that? Without changing my voice, without deflecting anything, I'm just saying, what do you mean this is how I always sound? Annoyed she was, but attracted she was as well, and she couldn't help it. And things just went so much more smoothly just because of those few changes I had. That's just because of those slight changes to my frame, right? Now, don't get it twisted though. You can't have, certain frames are harder to achieve without proper life setup. All I've talked about so far is frame. But setup, right? Setting up. Say, for example, you want to be a rich looking man on a yacht, multiple women around you, in expensive places, so do you know what everyone's looking at right now, like Andrew Tate, for example. How are you going to do that? Because at the end of the day, you could be driving around in a Lambo, right? You could be loaning it, etc. But if the woman looks inside and you look like a bum, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, bro. Why? Because frame and life setup, they both, and vice versa, have to both be on point. That's what it takes for us to succeed, me and you, bro. That's what it takes for us, right? However, right, that's a hard example where life setup would kind of ruin that. It'd be harder to achieve. Go to an easier example. Say you're jacked, right? Moderately jacked. You're well-dressed, right? Not looking rich, but well-dressed. You're well-spoken, and we'll just say you're kind of mysterious, right? You have sort of like an aloof appearance about you. You're kind of mysterious. What would you need to achieve that? Well, the other thing, you probably need a high-paying job. You probably need rich friends, right, to get on that yacht. You probably need to flaunt your assets. You probably need to go to a lot of parties to get these girls around you. What would you need for this? To work out. So you have to work out a lot, right, to be jacked. Believe it or not, you can achieve, like, I wouldn't say a genetic limit, but definitely you can achieve a good, really, really good physique with 2 years of consistent hard work. If anything, some of these people that blow up on these newbie games, a year of hard work sometimes. You can, the well-dressed part, a moderately paying job, any job, to be honest, doesn't even matter. Just a decent paying job and a proper budgeting skills, well-spoken, right? So you would have to read more. One thing also is the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you hold it. A lot of people, like I said, speak in higher pitches when they end words. Like, let's go to the bank, let's do this, I want to take you out. I want to take you, okay. What if you just said, yeah, I want to take you out. Let's go out. Yeah, let's go to the bank. It's the same thing, but it sort of feels different. Like, you kind of need a friend who literally just tell you whenever you guys are out, right? Say you're at a party, etc. He'll literally just, bro, fix your voice. Just, like when you're approaching a girl, that's a W wingman if he does that, by the way. They just tell you, like, bro, like you're talking high and she's into you, but like just lower it, she'll be wet. Just lower it a bit, she'll be wet. Right? But anyway, all of those things I just mentioned are very easy to achieve, right? To be honest, if you work out, you're already leagues above everyone else. And it's really that easy. If you just work out, you're already leagues above everyone else because you're already putting yourself in that frame. Not only are you putting yourself in that frame, but you're also helping your setup, right? So your setup is You wanted to be a jacked, well-spoken, well-dressed, mysterious guy, right? That's the one thing I didn't touch on, but I'll touch on that right now. What would your setup be like? What would your life be like? Okay, I go to the gym every day. I spending money on my clothes. This doesn't take much of a setup there. Planning. You read every now and then, and you have some type of like appearance that's mysterious. So basically, what mysterious means is you share, but you don't ever really do too much of like telling who you are. It's never like deep in a sense. Like they see you, you're advertising yourself online and etc. But there's never anything too deep showing who you are. Like for example, when I wanted to change my Instagram, I believe last year, to make it more like fitness based sort of, I took off a lot of the piano stuff I did. I took off a lot of the poetry stuff I did because I wanted it to be more mysterious, for example. I just wanted to be a guy who looks nice, who's showing you fitness things, and who's sort of teaching you about, how to constantly improve your appearance, how to constantly improve your life, etc. The other stuff that needs to be there though, that stuff you can learn about me through talking about with me. That's the mystery, is what more is there to me, right? So remember, framing and life setup. If you want someone to see you differently, if you want, like I said, it's a game. If you want to truly take over, it's about how you frame yourself for one, but importantly, the life setup you have. You cannot be some 1% time 1% male if you don't get into some type of field eventually to make that type of money, to get into that type of frame, to have to have the nice car, to be around a certain type of people. If you notice, a lot of YouTubers have YouTuber friends. A lot of rich people have rich friends. That's their life setup. Their life setup helped them get that frame to where maybe you don't own a yacht, but your friend owns a yacht. It's because of your life setup, because you did this work in IT or whatever field it is that you did to just get some money. You don't really care too much about it. You weren't attached to passion, you were just attached to money. You got that set up and you got that frame now, right? So think about that. And if anything, work on that. But above all, I was trying to work out too, because that's just super easy to work already. Trust me, being jacked or being fit is one of the top frames you could have, period, right? So go better your frame, go better your setup, and go impress yourself.